So we're recording this on Labor Day. Hope you'll probably see it the next day. And I just want to say that we need a holiday after Labor Day. It should be called Service Day for all us motherfuckers that have to work on Labor Day and get our asses kicked by people who, on Labor Day, they get off and they sit in a cubicle all day. And I'm like, why you gotta kick my ass today on Labor Day? So Service Day should be a freaking thing where we're just like all the hotels and restaurants and bars close down for a day, and everybody has to fend for themselves that are in the service industry. Y'all can all suck our dicks that day.
Yeah, they're like, who can we? Who's gonna service our stuff? How can I leave a $1 tip? What's gonna happen?
That's how I feel like every Labor Day. It drives me nuts.
Every service day, the food is free, but you have to pay tips. Everything is all tips.
Straight up, no, I just want the fucking day off. I just want to see all the people who don't work in the service industry just lose their fucking minds one day. Going out to restaurants and bars going, what's going on? I mean, even during COVID, we were out working our asses off while everybody else was fucking like, what do? I'm just at home all day watching movies, or I'm on Netflix, and we're sitting there like, oh yeah, because you're picking up food at our place or getting alcohol at Texas Sake.
Everybody that came into the bar, they were just like, oh man, this working from home has been so great. I was like, yep, I bet that was nice. While I serve you drinks.
Sake and Sumo here on Lone Star Sumo. We're happy to have you here. We're drinking and we're talking sumo as always. Today we're reviewing the September basho that should be coming up pretty soon here. I believe it starts Sunday. Yay. The same day my Cowboys will probably lose their opening game. Yay. Cowboys.
I don't watch football.
I know.
Anybody could win.
I don't understand what it's like when your team loses all the time. Worse than that, they make it to the playoffs every year and lose the first round. That kills you all the fucking time.
Sorry.
It's fine because we're here for sumo. And my boy Takeisho didn't let me down in the last boss show.
No, he did not. So
if he follows his run, he'll be injured this next boss show. I hope not, but that's what
that's exactly how it goes.
But we're gonna start with Jurio like we always do. We're gonna start with a big retirement, in my opinion. It's a guy I talk about a lot. Kaisei was my boy.
Pour some out for the homie. But I mean, it wasn't a surprise. I mean, we talked about it last time. You saw how his energy level in the basho even before July. Like, I mean, his injuries, and you can just kind of see when somebody's ready to retire. I mean, Shohozan, same deal.
So let's talk about Kaisei. He's a big Brazilian, beautiful man who was
beautiful, kind man.
The nicest, kindest guy on the dojo, always lending a hand, helping people up. When I first hung out with Justin at Texas Sake talking about sumo, we were watching, I don't remember what tournament, this was 3 years ago probably. This was the old Texas Sake, the little tiny spot y'all had.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, no, I love Kaisei. And he's like, Justin was all like, Kaisei slow? I don't know. And I said, watch his tachi. It is picture perfect. And then the match happened, and he turned to me and said, you're right. Hands came up, head was in the right spot, picture perfect tachi. And I was like, I know. He wins that way. He wins by doing just pure fucking sumo. What you're taught when you start doing sumo. He does that, and that's how he wins.
Yeah.
And, I've loved him for years. So I'm sad to miss him. I'm going to miss him.
Yeah. He
Time marches on.
time that it does happen. He is retiring at the ripe old age of 35, which is
After
hilarious.
12 years in salary, he entered Jurio in 2010
Yeah,
and stayed a lot of it in the top division. He stayed a
yeah.
lot in Division One. He was really impressive.
He has made it all the way up to Sekiwake, or
Sekuaki, I believe.
yeah, Sekiwake. He has had 3 special prizes. He never won a basho,
Yeah,
but he
well,
did.
most don't.
Most don't. Yeah,
People
yeah,
don't think about that. Like you get top division, you're considered one of the best in the world. You stay up there forever. Most people don't win. You know,
yeah, yeah,
we talk about the guys who do, but most people don't win.
yeah.
It's just a fact of life. If you get one, you should feel like you're just like one of the greatest, honestly.
The fact of life. The fact of life.
So that
You
was
take the
Kaisei.
good
So
to
we're gonna
take the
keep going
bad.
up the Jurio. Aqua had a comeback.
Aqua had a serious comeback because I know what was it? The first 6 days he didn't get a win. And I know Inho got a solid win on him. That's Aqua's not a little dude, but Inho like literally got around to the side of him, whoop, like picks up that back thigh and just whoop, like gets him soaring. I thought he was gonna have his legs chopped off. It was a nice win. Hopefully we can play that replay because that was a good win.
It's possible. Inho did have a winning record. He really did. He had a pretty good time. I enjoyed his stuff too.
Yeah,
But Aqua
but
came back after a horrible start to fucking get a winning record.
yeah,
And
after that 6 day loss, then he just came back and just kept winning. I think yeah, I don't think he lost
he
again.
lost once. He
Oh,
had one more loss the last I think he had 6 in a row, and then he won like I don't know how many before. He had one more loss and he ended up with 8 and 7.
oh
So
yeah.
that's an impressive fucking run right there. If you're
Most
sitting
people
down,
mentally,
you're
oh.
mentally are probably saying, okay, well, Kachikoshi on this one. I'm getting eight losses or more, that's for sure.
And I think even with that, Inho is now what is he?
7.
Jurio 7.
Jurio 7.
Yeah.
And Aqua is
Aqua.
6. Jurio 6.
Yeah. So he did all right.
And Jurio 9, Hakuseho, I have to talk about because he jumped from the bottom of Jurio all the way up to 9 because he had 11 and 4. And that boy,
He was
not
murdering
been
it.
much ever since his injury that knocked him out of that first time he went to Jurio.
Yeah.
He's still beating people.
Yeah.
Standing almost straight up. How strong? That's like Terunofuji level of strength. To standing almost straight up and beating professional sumo wrestlers. How strong are you, man? I can't wait to see like when you start being able to bend those legs and get a little lower, how good you're going to be, because that's incredible, physically incredible.
Yeah. I think he's gonna have kind of a story like Ichinojo, and it's gonna take a little while for him to kind of own his or adjust his style, then own his style, and I don't know, work that tall, massive body and like up at the upper divisions. But I am very excited to see him when he gets there.
Yep, that's gonna be awesome. In Jurio 3, I would like to take some time to talk about Anima Fuji, who I love his name because he's always sounds like a superhero to me. Like
Atami Fuji.
Yeah, it just sounds fantastic. But he is only 20 years old. He just turned 20, September 3rd. So he turned 20 when we were doing the Consulates Cup.
Wow.
He straight up is at Jurio 3. So if he has a good record in his next one, he'll be in the top division more than likely. I mean, it all depends on who's dropping out and how many people above him do great. But he has a good shot to get in to the top division at 20 years old. That's rare, man.
Yeah.
I think
just stay injury free.
Keisho, I think, got there at 20, maybe 21, something like that.
Yeah.
I know he got to Ozeki by 22. So he ran up there pretty fast. And of course, Hakaho got the Yokozuna at 22, but we haven't seen in the last 20 years a lot of 15 years or so, a lot of guys, young guys, like get up there fast.
Yeah, the young ones are struggling in this generation, but
Yeah. Well, I think more of them are deciding to stay in the high school, which means they're starting at 18 instead of 15. And then there's guys who want to go to
Which
college. So
it's
they're starting
smart.
at 22, 23 instead of, which is smart. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying I think that's why we don't see those you know, those fucking badasses from the past who were teenagers in the top two divisions. And you're like, golly, like it used to, I feel like in the 80s and 90s, there was at least one teenager in the top division all the time. It felt like it at least. You know?
Man. I mean, they're looking at their longevity. They know, they know their life in the sport caps at their mid 30s, and if they make it to the mid 30s, but most of them due to injury will cap out just below, right at 30 or below, and so that's still very young, and they're looking, and I'm sure their parents maybe have something to do with it too, but so they're looking for, looking at their future, I guess.
Yeah. I'm still excited to see if this guy can do it. If he can get up there early again, get another big hopeful.
I still believe part of their, I believe part of their training should encompass some kind of trade school or something.
I agree, except just the cooking and cleaning that they do. I mean, I know them work or own restaurants afterwards because they've cooked and cleaned their whole lives, and so like it's what they're good at. But I feel like they could do more for them. I like the idea that one school in Tokyo are letting people finish their degree if they want to join in 15. I forget the guy's name, but we talked about it not too long ago. One of the high schools, one of the principals, like, hey, we understand you want to try to do this, but like when you have off time, you can come take classes and get your degree, your high school degree. And I love that. I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's it's one of the things also that makes it a little hard for, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
It makes it hard for foreigners to make it. Not all, like Mongolians, they usually recruit and put them in the Japanese high school at 15.
Yeah,
that's helpful. But for like Americans at 18, it's really difficult to get over there.
Yep.
You're already 18 years old.
Yep.
And if you get over there and you get accepted, how are you gonna do that? You gotta learn Japanese. You gotta have a whole life to. It's gonna take years to get ready.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a few, and a funny thing is at the Consulates Cup this weekend, there is. I might keep it a surprise. I don't know if he wants me to say who, say that he's doing it, but there was a young gentleman that platformed, and he is very young, and he is very serious about trying to go into a stable.
Wow.
I was like, damn, I mean, you got the skill. You just have to bulk up. But yeah, there's a guy who I would very much, and he's got the intelligence to probably, and the youth to take on a new language and absorb it fast. He's already multilingual. So yeah, I like, we need, I mean, shit, we lost Wakiichiro, and are there any Americans left?
No, he was the last one.
We're all gone. They're all gone.
Yeah, he was the last one. And he didn't even get to Jirio, and he was the last one.
Yeah,
like I said,
we need a new American champion.
When they changed the rules back in the early 2000s and they made it harder for foreigners to get there, it's really hard for Americans, especially because you have choices. If you're a big, strong ass dude, you have a chance to get like a free college education in America, which is a big deal. You have a, or if you can make it to like professional football or something, you're going to make a hell of a lot more money than you would in sumo. However, it does make me sad that we don't have anybody there. I feel like we should have somebody.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
They would be the great American hope. I mean,
yeah,
win or lose, they'll have fans.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to one more Juryo. Chiyomaru, our boy, the man, Mr. Sumo, is back in Juryo. I feel like now that this is where he is. He's a hopper. He's gonna hop between the top Juryo and the bottom Manakusta. That's just where he's gonna be.
But he's always going to be a
1-2 all the time.
he's Yokozuna in our hearts.
Yeah, he is. He is. I love him. I just always hoped that he'd be like a mainstay in the rank and filers, just stay in there. Kind of like Ichi Yamamoto has been doing lately, who I've wanted to be that guy. And I feel like finally this year, his last 3 tournaments, he's like, bam, he's there. You know, he's not going to lose too much to drop completely out, never win a lot to be way up high, but he's right where he should be now. And I want Chio to be there. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to be a hopper. I think that's what he's going to be.
Yeah.
He's a little streaky. That's probably the biggest thing. He'll get like 8 to 10 wins and then 8 to 10 losses. You know, he's a little streaky. Love the guy, love him, but that's where he is now. And we're going on to the Division 1. And Rudin is back in Division 1 after
he's back, baby.
6-month suspension and his rise back up to the ranks again. Welcome back, sir. Proud of you.
Welcome back. Speaking of suspensions, where is let me try to think of where my boy Asanayama is these days now.
Okay, let me look him up.
I know he clearly just rammed through everybody. Let me see. I want to say he's Sandamen.
Yeah, he didn't go up as high as I was hoping. I remember that. I remember thinking to myself,
torture. Asanoyama, I don't know where you are. Asanoyama, where are you? Oh, while he looks for that, I would like to say that today for Sake and Sumo, I have my sake that it's bubbling a lot still. My homebrewed moonshine that I made myself, and it is really good. It's really good sake. I'm kind of letting it condition at sub-zero, and anytime it starts to change condition, it starts going again. But let's see how potent I made it. It tastes amazing. And Mr. Caleb is drinking the Texas Sake Nagori. It is an awesome unfiltered, just like this one, unfiltered sake, and you can get it at our brewery. And also check out the Dark Circle Sumo stories, or pretty much anybody's stories for the after party for this weekend that just happened. We shut the bar down. It was pretty nuts. I think we should have a record for most sumo wrestlers in a sake brewery. We'll see. I don't know I don't know who can break that record, but we did all right.
East Makushita 56. So he's
damn, that's still
he's still got, that might be 2 tournaments for him to get through all that.
Makushita. But that's not.
I mean, okay, he's in the 3rd division, but he's the very, very bottom.
That just made me realize Yago is in Makuchita.
Yeah, 2.
God damn.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Ugh.
But back to the top division.
Yep, sorry. We bounce around a little bit, but So
normally we go through the rank and filers at this point and the guys we like. But I'm going to mainly skip them. I mean, they're guys you expect. Yura is in the Joy. That's really cool. Maysay's back in the Joy. Tobizaro's M1. All that stuff's really awesome. But the coolest thing that happened in this Banzuke is we have 3 Sekawakes and 3 Kobusumis.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, it makes sense with all the people that had to pull out in the last tournament because of COVID. It just wasn't a lot of room for people to move down.
Yeah.
That anyone like killed it enough to be like, oh, they have to be. Maybe Ichinojo because he won the tournament. But I mean, other than that,
Well, and is there is a rule that like it has to cap at 3 or for Sekiwake Komusubi? Or no? I mean, I don't know. I've never seen more. I've never seen more than 3.
I don't know, but Abi Ichinojo and Kiribayama are the Kobasubis, and they all deserve it. They've all been doing good lately.
Oh yeah.
Saying...
we've got a good crop in the Sanyaku ranks. Like,
yes,
finally, not just this weird mixed bag. No, it's like A+ in all the Sanyaku. Yeah,
they definitely are. Wakatakage, Daisho, and Hoshoryu are in the Sekiwakes. Hoshoryu, I'm glad. I mean, he hasn't really killed it, but he keeps getting a winning record where he was, and that's not difficult. That's difficult to maintain. Yeah. He's been doing it. So moving him up one rank is pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
I think the only person in Sanyaku who may lose a seat, Abi. I mean, I don't know, but the rest of them, I think they got some staying power. They're not moving, and I like this setup because you got to be the best of the best to knock one of these guys out of that, or they just have to have a really lousy, or unfortunately nowadays, or just catch COVID, which sucks. But I don't see these guys moving.
All right, so that's gonna move us up to the Ozekis, and Mitakakumi is the first guy we need to talk about because he is staying in Ozeki. What they haven't announced is he still Kataban. I believe he should be, but they haven't said anything about it.
I believe. Well, I mean, my love for Mitakakumi. Like, yeah, if anybody should be Kataban, always and forever, it should be Shodai. Yeah, but I don't care if he has a winning streak. He's always Kataban.
He was Kataban, and the only reason he keeps his thing is because COVID, not because he had 8 wins. Should he? I mean, or should he not? Shouldn't he just be Kataban again here? I mean, even if he has to keep his position, I feel like he should at least still be Kataban. I think he still needs to get at least 8 in this one. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. No, he's. I can. I hate cursing it. I'm like, I can guarantee he's gonna get his 8. I think Mitakakumi is gonna come hard this time and get 10.
All right, we'll see.
All right, you guys, hold me to it. He's gonna get 10 though. I promise you. And because we know how Takakeisho does, he'll probably get just that 8. How about that? We'll see what.
And like I said at the beginning, Takakeisho, this is where he usually gets hurt. Oh, I just had a
fucking amazing
a runner-up, and now hey, I had this amazing match where I beat the Yokozuna, and now I'm gonna be injured instead of like having a Yokozuna run like I should be having. And speaking of, Shodai had a great run that got him out of Kataban.
Shodai had a great run. He didn't do his normal.
Money, guys, bet on him having a losing record because he just had this incredible performance, which means he's probably going to lose and go Kataban again.
That's a fact. That is very much his style. Like, he's like, whoa, he's that just enough Rikishi. He's like that, that student that just skates by, like barely shows up to class, but if the teacher gave extra credit, like it was enough to get him a passing grade. He's like, yes.
The most insane thing is that he twice now when he was Kanban, he started off like 4-1, and everybody was like, well, this is probably it. And he goes on an insane run. He went like 7 days in a row winning until Takakeisho finally blew him out.
Yeah,
but then the last 2 days he beat Terunofuji and Wakataka Kage. I mean, fuck, man, that is some high competition.
You never know. You never know with him. You never know, and it's very annoying.
Speaking of, I want to talk real quick. The Takakeisho Terunofuji match the last match of last basho was fun, and I don't think enough people talked about how fun of a match that was.
We did.
Blast, the huge blast to stand Terunofuji up, and then
Over.
Terunofuji, like
Over.
when he lost, and you see like Takeshi fall down, and you just look at Terunofuji's face like, oh, I stepped out. Damn. It was such a great face before you like got control. Just like, oh man.
Yeah, buddy.
Uh,
That, and I said it the last podcast. I said, of course, Caleb has always been a huge fan of Takakeshi. I was a motherfucking fan that day. It was like, I was like, wow. I mean, the sheer mass of Terunofuji, like, and that you just moved foot after foot. You like blast after blast was like moving that man. He is not an easy man to move.
No one is.
Just great leverage. Every single it was so cool. There were no crazy angles with it. It was just pure power. Sumo.
I thought because it was the tournament before he became Yokozuna where Terunofuji figured out how he could fight Takeshi because he had a hard time. People forget he had a hard time with Takeshi, even pre-injury. He had a hard time with Takeshi. Yeah. Takeshi got underneath him, and he's a tall guy and would stand him up and push him out.
Yeah.
And then he started doing that thing where he got really, really super low and just let Takeshi hit him until Takeshi made a mistake. He'd wait for Takeshi to screw up, and then he'd beat Takeshi. And that was working. Takeshi couldn't figure it out for a long time. And I kept thinking Takeshi was going to come up with some cool trick or strategy to start beating Terunofuji. And no, he just said, well, I'm just going to push up harder.
I'm just going
to hit him harder. That's how I'm going to win this. I didn't expect that. I guess that's Takeshi. Out of all the people who keep saying, like, my style of sumo, there is nobody who lives it more than Takeshi. To the point where I've seen him get mad at interviews because he wins with like a throw or something, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna work harder to be stronger and win with my style." Takeshi, I'm like, "You already fucking won the match. You didn't win it with an Oshidashi, so you're upset." Only Takeshi.
Only Takeshi, and I'm learning and I'm respecting him more and more every tournament. And you're making a fan out of me, but like, I think it's also because there's a void in my heart that Asaniyama is not there with him. So,
but wait till he gets back, man, because those guys' fights were epic. Yeah, I love their fights. Their fights were so like opposite, and so it was so fun to watch one get advantage over the other every time.
Yeah. And at that time, then me and Caleb will be back to rivals.
Yes.
And I will never say a nice thing again about Takakeshi.
Okay, so predictions. We heard a little bit of yours already. My prediction is I keep expecting Wakatakage after I really expect him this last one to go off, and he didn't. But I still think he's going to start getting double digits again. I can't count that guy out. He works too hard. He has knees of steel.
Mm-hmm.
He is sumo. I talked about it with Ari Saturday night. I like Hoshoryu. I know why people like him. He does throws and stuff. Throws are pretty. I get that. But when you cut down to like the basics of sumo, there's no one who looks more perfect than Wakatakage. The way he gets low, the way he blocks that freaking arm up,
yes,
and hits the pit and pushes people out. He is sumo personified sometimes when I watch him fucking fight. And he just everybody in the stable keeps saying, he's just keep working harder. That's all he ever does. So I think he's going to be back in double digits. That is my prediction. He's going to get 10 or more, maybe a lot more if he gets on a streak.
I'm going to say this basho, Hoshoryu, might be the one to shine. I think he's got a lot to prove. We've hyped him up so much, and like he had been falling a little bit short, but I something about his energy, like this basho, and like watching some of the practices, like I'm gonna go out on a limb I might be crazy. Y'all can call me out, whatever. But I want to say Hoshoryu is either the winner, like a crazy underdog winner of the basho, or he's the runner up.
Nice. Well, no, that's not crazy because this is the first time we're going to see him.
It's not that crazy.
The last few tournaments, he in his position had to start fighting the Ozekis, Yokozunas, and Sekawakis that first week. Now he's gonna fight them in the second week, the last half of at the end. So that means he could go on a hot streak at the beginning, and if he does,
and let that momentum
carry him, because we know he can beat those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's beaten Terunofuji yet, but I feel like he can, and I know he's beaten all the other guys so far at least once.
Yeah.
So there's no one he can't beat, in my opinion. That's for sure.
But the setup, like you were saying, the setup is right. Like anytime you and I, we do tournaments, you get just getting your first win or two out of the way, like it just shakes it. I mean, I don't know. You fall into a groove, and then you just go on a hot streak. And I think that is with the setup the way it is now. I think that he's going to go into that second week on fire. So you guys, I hope I get this right, but it's the feeling that I have, and I'm running with Hoshoryu extra hard this basho.
All right, that sounds great. And we're gonna end it here. This is just a little preview of what we're gonna do. We're gonna be back at the end of hopefully that Sunday night. We will at the end of the tournament we will have another recording, and I will get it out as soon as possible. Hopefully, also we'll get together sometime in the next week or two before someone goes to Japan to do a Consolates Cup review.
Yes,
because it was a very fun tournament we just had this Saturday.
It was insane. It was insane. And shout out to everybody who came. But we'll review that a little bit later.
All right. So I'm gonna raise my glass here. I didn't get to finish today, but I will keep drinking. I promise, guys. Trust me. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Get your sumo on.
Pew.